Hello, can I show you my 5 favorite hula hoop tricks that are amazing for a cardiovascular workout?
Before we let her talk, seriously, start spinning your hula hoop beautiful around your waist or your hips, whatever feels better. Move your arms around, wiggle, let's go.
Basically, hula hooping is already somewhat cardiovascular, so if all you managed to do so far was to just keep up a hula hoop around your waist, if you were a beginner, probably you discovered that it was increasing your heart rate quite a bit. But that's only when we are absolute beginners, and after a while we plateau because our body gets used to it. So that's when we get curious how to make it a more intense workout to achieve our goals and not keep camping at that plateau that we reached, but we want to get further. So how do we do it? Which moves are the best? Hello, I'm the hula hoop fairy, and I've got a message for you. Because when you first look at some of the moves, they will feel like, gosh, it's very hard. There's no way I can do it like that. If you notice this chatter in your head, please try and explain to yourself that that's the whole point. Actually, it's your good fortune, your gift from hula hooping, because hooping actually has its own inbuilt safety mechanism, especially for you. Let me explain. When we're new to hooping and we're learning our first moves, they make no sense whatsoever to the brain and to the body. While we are figuring out the move, trying to sort out which body part goes where and when, it gives us time to actually get fit also. In the beginning, you don't even need to be very fit because you're still brainstorming, trying to understand it all, and you will be slow and you will not be flexible, you will not be very powerful, and you don't need to. Let me show you. With the baby, for example, it takes a bit of time to focus, figure out how to reach out with your hand, where to move this hand, where to move that hand, how to lift your leg up. And initially, this is the pace at which we go, and sometimes we just have to think and stop. And that's perfect, because if we are unfit, it's so kind. We don't have to jump around like lunatic. After you've done it slowly, it will make more and more sense to your body and your brain. Gradually, you just keep getting fitter and fitter. And through this process, as you're learning, your fast twitch muscles start waking up, your flexibility improves, your power increases, your heart and lungs are going to catch up with the task, and you will make it look like you've been doing this all your life, like this. But none of us fall out of our mothers being able to do it all immediately that fast, so we slow down first. It's very kind from hooping that we actually have to problem solve and use our heads, so that first time we try, we don't feel like we want to spit our lungs and heart out, but it is actually quite doable. And every single time you try, it will be even more and more doable, and soon it will feel easy. I've just put this here because a lot of people have this inner conversation, and sometimes some people have these voices coming, and these voices are not always encouraging and usually not very helpful. Please let me be that voice and encourage you. You've got this, no need to stress. It's gonna be all fine. You're gonna get super shredded with epic hula hoop skills.
Whatever, so here are the top 5 moves that I recommend. I have step-by-step tutorials on my website with workouts. This is the first one I would conquer. This is the playground skip. And what's awesome about it is that you can do this with your kids. I like to chase my daughter while we're doing playground skipping together. You can do this even with a toy shop hula hoop. So if you so far have not invested into a proper grown-up hoop, you are fine even with a kid's hula hoop to do this. You can move your arms around, and later you will be able to pick up more hula hoops when you're ready to make it harder. Playground skip, check. Next, plyometric can-can. That normally starts off with the basic can-can, which is nice and slow. And then when you're ready and fitter and more coordinated, you can make it more bouncy. That is what makes it plyometric. So you're already activating fast twitch, which is type 2 muscle fibers. If you ever tried this, then you figured out that you actually have to be sort of flexible if you have a big hoop. But if you start with a small hoop, then you don't. So you can start off nice and easy. And with every try, you get more flexible, because this is actually an active stretch. So you burn lots of calories and stretching at the same time. Chicken jacks are what you get if you do a single chicken. That's what we normally start off with in my courses, because that's easier. And then we progress onto a double chicken. That is that we turn into a plyometric exercise by turning it into a chicken jack. And what's amazing about this, if you've ever been jumping around like this, especially if you already had kids, then you probably know this is the kind of move that makes you slightly wet yourself, which is normal, don't you worry about that, but that's exactly the reason why we should do it, so that we strengthen the pelvic floor. There are muscles there and they need to work out too, so check! Next move is the baby, and although we can start off nice and slow, that's how I normally start in my beginner courses, but then we build up some speed, make it more plyometric, and that generates a lot of heat because you will notice your heart rate will increase like crazy. And it lubricates pretty much all your joints and increases your range of motion. It is an active dynamic stretch, which actually stimulates your fascia on the transverse plane. Cardio and stretching, check. Next, the esquiva. I nicked this, I will be honest, because I used to perform on stage with capoeira performers from Brazil, and they had this move called the esquiva, and it really inspired me. I had to hoopify it. And of course, if you're just looking at it, you can't quite feel it, but once you get started, and I include the step-by-step tutorial in my workouts and on my website, but it is an insane stretch for your whole body. It also sculpts your glutes like nothing else. Active recovery in between these higher intensity sets is a must. I would choose from waist hooping because that feels quite easy. So if you have been waist hooping for a while, you probably can tell that if you keep doing this for a couple of days or weeks, it doesn't actually increase your heart rate that much anymore. So basically it is going to be your rest. How cool are you? I'm not sure if you ever heard this, but whatever used to be your workout once will only be your warm-up one day. Or your recovery, because you're getting so fit. Of course, you can do chest or shoulders, lots of options, or you could work on something that's low intensity and focuses on mobility, because all that heat that you generate while you're doing your cardio sets is actually going to help and improve the viscosity of your connective tissue, of the joints, the synovial fluid. This way, all that heat that you generated, you can use for another purpose to improve your mobility and flexibility. This way you do your cardio, your pelvic floor and your mobility exercises, check!
All of the moves in this video are great for burning the calories, and a lot of people who like to focus on weight loss and dropping the inches, they love to count calories. So they like to check their heart rate monitor and smartwatches and things like that, how many calories they burned. So if you're one of those people, you get absolutely satisfied. Normally I don't worry about calories. What I worry about is hormones and metabolism. So I don't want to burst that bubble. So if you enjoy looking at calories, keep looking at them. The physiological benefits that you can achieve with these tricks is going to blow your mind. So let's blow our minds, get excited. What are we achieving with these tricks exactly? I will be honest, I was cherry picking because I didn't include all the benefits. I just focused on the ones that I'm excited about, but I hope you like them too. I chose the pelvic floor first. Of course, I got no clue if you ever had a baby or want to ever have one, but I have the experience of what it's like to push one through. And maybe some people don't like the word damage, but I can't quite say that it really serviced things here. It did cause some damage. Also, sedentary lifestyle, so when people don't exercise for a while, that makes that area a little bit unfit because the pelvic floor is what holds lots of things up and in place. As we get older, unfortunately, hormonal changes make things leak. So if you don't want to leak, because during perimenopause you will find that you will be experiencing sarcopenia, so you will be losing lean muscle mass, and that does not just make you look softer and chubbier, but it also decreases the amount of muscle you have here. So even if you never pushed a human through here, but you're just getting older, you will find that you start leaking all over the place. I cannot say that exercise sorts out 100% of pelvic floor weakness, because sometimes there's bigger issues there. But if you're just like a normal person who's just gently wetting herself, then you will benefit from these hula hoop tricks because they are going to stimulate your pelvic floor. You may leak initially, and I would love you to have this challenge for yourself. yourself. If you leak even a tiny bit, I would love you to do this challenge. Try the exercises and then try again for the next few days, maybe even weeks. It will blow your mind, because even just in a few days you will leak a lot less. You will be so excited about that, because you can actually get those muscles fit so they can hold things in, including all your liquids. Are you feeling excited? How amazing is that? So you're not just torching the calories to earn your six-pack, but you're also servicing your pelvic floor. So if your kids ever want you to jump with them on the trampoline, you're not going to chicken out because you're not going to wet yourself. Because you trained your pelvic floor muscles and now they are super fit. You will also be easier to satisfy in the bedroom and you will be more fun to hang out in. Because it's absolutely normal as we age and all the wear and tear and the babies and the hormones and the sarcopenia just get things a bit loose, and then look at that magic that you've achieved with just working out. And hot flashes, it's about perimenopause again. So if you're not worried about it, believe me, gorgeous, you're not interested in hot flashes until you have them. But once you have them and they cause you sleepless nights, you would think, oh yeah, like who cares, one sleepless night? No, imagine 10 years of sleepless nights. Of course, this stage of life, women like to spit fire and eat their family alive and get divorced because they are super irritable because they've not slept for years. But when you do cardio, you actually condition your body so that it can deal with heat a lot better. Because that is exactly what is happening even during hot flashes. It's just the excess heat. Your body is trying to send all the blood to the surface so that the vasodilation is going to help and get rid of the heat. That is the reason of night sweats as well, because the sweat will cool the body down. But what if through exercise you condition your body so it's going to be so trained, so used to dealing with temperature issues, you fix your thermostat. It's the drop of the estrogen levels that is messing up your thermostat. But if your thermostat is already super fit and used to challenges, when you reach perimenopause, it won't be that traumatic. Don't take my word for it, go on Google. There's lots and lots of research reports, very new ones, and they're so exciting to read because a lot of them say that through cardiovascular training, you can alleviate the symptoms of perimenopause and reduce the discomfort that comes with hot flashes. And these tricks are rather plyometric.
Maximum force in short time.
Yeah, that's the jumping, bouncing around, moving fast. And what that does, it actually activates fast twitch muscle fibers. Again, you can look into it, don't take my word for it, do your research. But as we get older, once we reach about the age of 35, it's absolutely normal from then onwards to decline, lose our muscle mass. So it's harder to gain lean muscle and even hard to maintain. And usually the first muscles that go are these fast ones. Fortunately though, if we stimulate these muscle fibers, they are not going to go away and rot away and decline, but they are going to keep sitting on your beautiful toned body as long as you keep stimulating them. So these tricks that I included are particularly good because they are very plyometric. These moves stimulate your body to be anabolic. Anabolic is good.
Increase muscle mass and bone density.
You gain muscle, so you burn more energy even in your sleep. And the more muscle means stronger bones as well, so osteopenia is another thing that we normally start developing from the age of 35. As we start losing our muscle, we start losing our bones because the bones do not receive the stimulation. But now, check you out. You were focused on your calories. Check. You got your pelvic floor. Check. You're sorting out that turmoil, that thermostat issue with the hot flashes. Check. And now you're also encouraging your muscles to stay on your body and not go away. Your overall performance is going to improve too, because if you increase the intensity and let it drop, and then again do something proper high intensity and then let it drop, you're going to stimulate your body. Basically, you push yourself out of your comfort zone, and that's where the magic happens. Cardiac output, like
Apparently I talk too much, so you can read it. It's shorter.
The amount of blood that your circulation can deal with is going to grow. It's like when you talk about cars and you mention horsepower, and you know that if it's not a lot of horsepower compared to something else that has a lot of horsepower, then yeah, if you want it to be powerful and strong, you choose the one with the more horsepower, right? And these higher intensity intervals with the active recovery sneaked in there is going to help you to increase your horsepower. Why would that be interesting? Well, if sometimes there are higher intensity moves, not just in exercise and hula hooping, but even in life. You have to move furniture or lift your kids up, push the shopping trolley, chop firewood, or do a 4-hoop arabesque or a handstand or shoulder stand. A lot of the moves, they require more capacity, more volume, more power. And the reason for that is they need a lot of muscles to be contracting and working. They need fuel, they need oxygen, they need blood, they need lots. And if your cardiovascular system is a bit iffy and dodgy because you've not been training it, you're not going to be able to generate that much power, you won't be able to contract that many muscles, and you will be out of puff and you will struggle, and it will feel like you're ready to spit your lungs out and your head is going to blow up. But if you're consistent with your cardiovascular training every now and then, that will trigger physiological adaptations. So your cardiovascular system is going to get a glow up. Not just your heart, but all your capillaries, even your lungs. They will improve their capacity. This is why it's so exciting to not just look at the calories that we're burning, because sure, yeah, you're burning the calories, you're getting that six-pack, don't you worry about that. But at the same time, you're earning so many little check marks because you're going to be servicing your pelvic floor, you're going to be stimulating your fast-twitch muscle fibers, so you're going to do your best to support your body so that you will develop sarcopenia and osteopenia less, and that will make you look more shredded for longer and more toned and more irresistible. You will be an absolute rock star when perimenopause hits you, and everyone else will be struggling with their hot flashes while you will be sleeping like a baby, not knowing what they are talking about. And you will be an absolute rock star when it is about getting stronger or more powerful and doing moves that require lots of power, because you already increased the cardiovascular output, your lung capacity, your everything that matters. So you're showing up at any game with a lot more horsepower. You may be wondering why I look so stupid. My daughter said that I look so embarrassing that she does not want to be seen anywhere near me. So if you're a working single mum and need some space, this is the gear I recommend. It's absolutely child repellent. If you're also craving some peace and quiet, sorted. Thank me later. I've not even been to the toilet or the shower on my own for the last 10 years. I need this. Just a vibe check here quick. Are you having fun? If you are, please put in the comments below where you're watching me from, which country. That way I can show my daughter that her mum is so embarrassing in so many places. What countries has this embarrassment reached? I'm so embarrassing, I'm going global. If you're feeling super pumped to treat your gorgeous body to a workout with me and your amazing hula hoop, why not try this workout with me? Because that way, you're not just going to be torching the calories, but you're going to be enjoying all the amazing benefits that hula hooping can deliver. Enjoy. Mwah.